So bottom line here is that this stuff is hard. If you're a prepper or an outsider into amateur radio and think you're just gonna be able to buy the gear, get on the air, good luck. Again, I am not the expert. I've only been doing this for a few years. Same thing with Billy. But we both went out into the field and we're self-supporting. Technically I'm in the backyard, but I'm still self-supporting. I would have gone on the field if it wasn't for this injury. Cheers guys, the Tech Prepper. Hope you're all doing well. We're going to do another episode of No Random Contacts. That's where we try to establish targeted communication with somebody else over radio. And for today, I've hooked up with the ModernHam. He's out in Kentucky, I'm in Arizona, and we're going to try to do HF comms on a schedule. Now this is a very different plan than what I've used in the past. Really excited. Lots of curveballs for this one here. The only issue is I can't really go out into the field. Typically I would be out in the Tonto National Forest behind me, but I am recovering from a mid-calf injury and have to go to the backyard. But I'm still going to do everything self-supported on battery power, solar power, and all the gear that is in my ruck is what we're using for this exercise. Now, we don't know exactly when we're both going to be on the air. We have a really cool week-long schedule. We're going to confine our exercise to the weekend, and we're going to go into that a bit. But for right now, I got to set up the camp, set up the antenna, and then I'll show you guys around before we hit our first, or I'll try my first targeted comm window. All right, folks, so one of the challenges I have as a portable operator is I need to balance the gear that I need to make comms, but also my support gear. And the pack that I've been running is the Eberly Stock Fact Track. I've been running it now for a little over 3 years, or maybe 2.5 years. And it is mostly radio gear, but I do have support gear like my Gossamer 1 tent, my sleeping system, and my cook system. So we've got the Commo plan here. In this little bag here from, I think, Kanai, I've got my Panasonic FC M1 ToughPad with iKey keyboard. This is what we're going to use for digital. I've got my linked dipole here. This one will take me up to 80 meters. It's 80 meters, 75, 60, 40, 20, and that covers it. I don't know if I'm going to throw this up today because I don't have the room for 80 meters in the backyard, so that could be a problem for us. Actually, I'll get to that antenna in a second. Now, this little kit here, this is my DC charging kit for the FZM1. I think I did a short on this. And then I've got a very large Manpack here. This is the Yaesu 857D Manpack. It's in my custom bag, so we're going to primarily be running off of this guy. Everything else here is actual support gear like cook system, food system, and all that stuff. But what I wanted to show you is over here. This is the antenna we're going to be deploying for the most part, and it's a prototype antenna I have working with N9 SAB, and we're calling it the Tacticool end-fed half-wave, and it's going to cover 40, 20, 15, and 10. I'm going to run that with the Sodabeam's Carbon 6 carbon fiber mast, and I've got a couple of other goodies in here. This is like a guide kit, cordage, and a bunch of other stuff. So we're going to go ahead and deploy it as a sloper configuration. This is the first time I'm going to run it as a sloper, and I'm going to put the mast out by the house that way, and hopefully 65 feet will take us to about right here, and then I can just operate with the tent roughly in this location. So like I said, if I could go out and ruck this, I would, but I can't. I haven't even really been able to do a trail run in about 5 or 6 weeks. All right, folks, I'm about to lose light, so I want to quickly show you. I've got the end-fed half-wave sloper up about 19.5 feet, and it's coming down to about 12 inches. I do have a couple things running here. I have a little bit of cordage going off into that Palo Verde just to keep it off the ground. I have a 17-foot counterpoise going back out that way, and then I have a little bit of RG316 going over to where my station will be. Now, this is the first time that I've used this antenna in this configuration. I'm still evaluating it, so I decided to also go ahead and take some measurements. So I brought the Rig Expert out, took measurements on 40, 20, 15, and 10, and the SWR looks good. Right now we're on the digital portion of the 40 meter band, and we're at a 1.16 to 1 match, and then I took all of my standard notes. So I'm going to go ahead and probably not set up a shelter. It is like 85 degrees right now. If it comes to it, I'll throw up the Gossamer 1. Otherwise, I'm just going to hang out here with my pad and hope that no snakes come out. But yeah, we're going to do some quick testing of the gear before I get ready for the Commo window in about 90 minutes to 2 hours. All right, folks, it's finally time to relax. Since I was at the house, I decided to pop in and grab a beer, technically cheating, but I want to show you a couple pieces of gear that I'm going to be using. So like I said, I'm going to be running some digital. I think this is the mode that actually is going to work for us. So I have been favoring since I think January of this year, the Panasonic FCM1. You guys have seen it a few times, and I'm running with it the iKey keyboard, and this is a must-have, especially for things like JS8 call. So really nice for the field. And then while I'm going to limit my power to 50 watts single sideband and 20 watts digital because of the limits of my NFET half wave, we're going to be running my larger Manpack. This is the Yaesu 857D Manpack. And guys, I don't have any update on when I'll have a bag available. I'm having some issues with manufacturing, so they may never be available. But I'm running it here with the Armorlock TPA pack frames. We've got the antennas relocated, and then inside the battery pouch, I've got the BioWino 9 amp hour battery. And the cool thing about this bag is that I designed it with 3 different pass-throughs. So the hand mic is relocated through the inside of this admin pouch, as is the power for the battery and also the digital cable. So if I open it up here, all I really have to do is grab the DigiRig cable that's already inside of the bag mounted and connect this up to the FZM1. Tried a few things just to quickly test my gear. I have my 857D powered up. It's connected to my FZM1, and I have it interfaced with the DigiRig mobile. Now I did do a quick test on the standard JS8 call calling frequency, and I'm able to get people responding to me. Good signal reports, but right now it's mostly in the Southwest and just beyond, California, Colorado, and Texas. I'm also looking over the pace plan and making sure I have kind of the rough sequences. So at 9 p.m. local time, I'm going to be starting out on 40 meters voice, lower sideband. And then if that doesn't work, we have an alternate frequency to jump to. And then 15 minutes later, if that doesn't work, we're going to switch over to JS8 call and try some direct messaging. And then if that doesn't work, 15 minutes after that, we're going to jump to PSK 31. Now that's a mode I have not used before, but do know a little bit of the basics of FL Digi, so we'll see that if that works out. And then the emergency I can't participate in. He called for computer-assisted CW, and under Linux, I'm not set up yet to be able to send encoded CW messages just yet. And I haven't learned CW yet. It's on my plan for maybe next year of 2024. Now our exchange is going to be exchanging our UTM coordinates and also a weather report. So I have mine already captured, so if I do get Billy on the horn, I'm able to quickly have that stuff ready. It's also getting pretty dark, as you can see, so I've got my headlamp ready to go. Mine's all beat up from years of use, but I've got the red light ready to go for kind of low light work. And yeah, it'll be fun. So lighting's going to be terrible, but I've got a window at 9 p.m., 1 a.m., 5 a.m., and 9 a.m. All right, guys, so the Commo window starts in about 50 seconds. Sorry about the snoring toads. They're breeding. It's going crazy. There's pack rats been running across my camp for the last like half hour. I'm not too optimistic about this first voice contact, mostly because there's a lot of interference. So I'm going to listen for about 5 minutes, and if I still don't hear Billy, I'm going to go ahead and go up 10 kilohertz to our alternate frequency for voice. Kilo November 4 Mike Kilo Bravo from Kilo Tango 7 Romeo Uniform November. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a no-go. Try them one more time. Kilo November 4 Mike Kilo Bravo from Kilo Tango 7 Romeo Uniform November. Alright, I'm going to set my alarm for 3 minutes, and I'm going to go up 10 kilohertz after this. Alright folks, so we're still on the single sideband voice portion. I went up 10 kilohertz. Let's go ahead and try Billy again. Kilo November 4 Mike Kilo Bravo from Kilo Tango 7 Romeo Uniform November. At least there's no interference on this frequency. Kilo November 4 Mike Kilo Bravo. when I ran my offline vocap prediction, it actually indicated we were going to get like an E, basically, so almost no chance of this happening, so I'm not surprised. We're actually operating digital on the voice portion, which is not great, and there's still a little bit of interference here. I'm going to go ahead and just switch to the normal mode real quick on JS8 call and send a quick heartbeat here, and hopefully he will copy. So I'm going to go ahead and send out a heartbeat right now from my station. And if I don't hear anything after this, I'm just going to go up to the next frequency, 10 kilohertz, and basically start transmitting again in about 5 minutes. So I sent out my heartbeat, and I don't see anything on our scheduled frequency here coming in. And this was the band that was going to give us the most likelihood of success when I did my vocap analysis. Let me look at my notes here. It was predicting like an A, so about 90 to 100% success here. So I don't know if there's something going on with Billy's station, but you know, this is why we get out here and train. All right, guys, so I've gone up to our second JS8 call frequency at 0420. It's on figures 7.22350, and I've got about 7 seconds. I'm going to try to heartbeat, then CQ, and I'm going to wait for about 5 or 10 minutes just in case Billy's having challenges. Couple things, I think next time if we were to use this plan, I would use the standard JS8 call frequency and make use of relays, and also I would stick to the digital portion of the band. All right, so we're in our window here. I'm going to go ahead and call CQ. Probably should record the screen for you guys. All right, let's go ahead and let's send a heartbeat out. Come on, Billy. Let's do it. Send heartbeat now. And I also verified while this was running that my clock was in sync. You saw the time drift last time, but I confirmed with my watch. I reacquired my GPS signal in my watch, and I'm within like half a second on my laptop, so I don't think I'm having a decode issue. And then also, before I started this exercise, I went and transmitted on the JS8 call frequencies, and I was getting back acknowledgement. So I think all my gear is working. I think I'm putting out the right amount of power. It's either propagation, not enough power, antenna placement, maybe he's having an issue on his side. All right, so that didn't work for the heartbeat, so I'm going to try one CQ. And guys, if this doesn't go through, I'm looking at my Commo plan. We jump forward every 4 hours. 4 hours from now is 1 a.m. my time. I don't mind being up for it, but the problem is it calls for 80 meters, and I just don't have 80 meter capabilities here with the space I have. And I don't want to tap into my 80 meter deployed antenna. So what I'm going to do is reconvene if this is a no-go at 9 a.m. Because it also looks like 5 a.m. has, like, according to propagation conditions or vocap predictions, it looks like it's straight F's for us to make a contact also on 80. So I'm going to check in on 20 meters at 1600 UTC or 9 a.m. and it looks like the vocap prediction was like a C for voice at 1600 and an A for JS8 at 1615. So I'm going to call this a bust. I'm going to do one more CQ, but I'm not going to keep you guys around for it. I'll kick on the camera if he shows up. Thanks for sticking with the poor lighting, guys. Forgot one thing. There's a primary, an alternate, and a contingency. I needed to switch over to PSK31. I have about 2 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and start filling out my exchange. I'm using FLDigi, so we're going to exchange our UTM coordinates. I'm going to put a 12S for my zone, and my easting is figures 405758, and then my northing is 3753434. And I'm going to wait till exactly 21:30 to send that off, or 4:30 UTC. Double check our frequencies here. Oh, yeah, you're still with me. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to transmit now. And the nice thing about PSK31 in comparison to JSA call is that it's a lot faster. So I think I would have switched these modes around. I would have had PSK31 be my alternate frequency. All right, yeah, I don't see any band activity, so either has a technical issue, I screwed something up, who knows, band conditions. So guys, it's not that easy. 0435, and the next Commo window is at 5 a.m. local time. And I don't have 80 meter capabilities with my current portable setup. I have an antenna, but I don't have a way of deploying on the property. So since we're cheating, we're gonna go inside the house, and we're gonna use my base station. And the prediction software said that there was no way in hell we were gonna make this with 100 watts anyhow. So since we're going in, we might as well make a cup of coffee and boot up the station real quick. And also got the twin FZM1. And we've got our combo plan. So again, I hate cheating, but you know what? Actually, let's take off this silly headlamp. Let me get my cup of coffee and we'll talk about the plan for 5 a.m. Okay, so let's talk about this. I have about 10 or 12 minutes before I have to hit this Commo window. So one thing about the schedule that I don't know if I've talked about yet, let me see if I can flip through it here so you can see really quickly. The schedule is designed to establish all of the windows Monday through Friday or Monday through Sunday, and there is no guarantee that we're both going to choose to use the same Commo windows. So last night we tried going on, for me it was Friday night at 0400 UTC, which was technically Saturday. That failed. I skipped 1 a.m. just because it was for 80 meters, and I typically wake up at 3:55, so I thought, you know what, let's cheat and give 80 meters a try again, and this is for the 1200 UTC hour or 5 a.m. local time. My next window that I'm going to try him at will be at 9 a.m. this morning. So with this, there is a chance that with this plan, we have no way of knowing when the other person is on the air, when they're actually trying to reach out to us, and if they're running into any technical difficulties, or whether our stations can even hear each other. Like I said, I tried my best to use the offline version of VoaCap for Linux, and did the best I can. So since we're cheating, I'm running the Yaesu FT897D. I'm waiting for him on the primary upper sideband calling frequency, or not calling frequency, but voice frequency, and I'm actually going to max out power here at 100 watts. Outside, I'm running the Chameleon Cha Lefts 8010. It's running in a north-south configuration. So if this doesn't get out, chances are going to be really rough that it would have worked with lower power using my little NFED half wave. So yeah, I'm cheating, but also it's nice to rule out that, hey, is it the portable setup, or actually is it just band conditions and maybe even my radio capabilities? I'm never going to be that guy that's going to run more than 100 watts. I don't own an amp. I don't plan on getting an amp. So this is the plan. And then, like yesterday, if voice fails, I'm going to go ahead and launch JSA call here and try him on digital. If that fails, I'll do PSK31. If that fails, I'll go back outside, enjoy the morning, and try again in 4 hours. All right, guys, so we have our Commo window. It's 1200 UTC, 100 watts. I don't know if this is going to work. VoaCap says no. I'll throw up that prediction up on the screen. Kilo November 4, Mike, Kilo Bravo from Kilo Tango 7, Romeo, Uniform November. Trot one more time. Kilo November 4, Mike, Kilo Bravo from Kilo Tango 7, Romeo, Uniform November. And there's no interference this time, which is kind of nice. Nothing heard. I'll QSY to our alternate frequency in 15 minutes. And we've got about 17 seconds left on the heartbeat. Again, it takes 30 seconds on the slow mode. And I'm using the slow mode because that mode in JSA call will give you the highest likelihood of a remote station being able to decode your signal if your signal is way down in the noise. And based on the prediction of it saying, hey, you're probably not going to make it, that's the mode that we have to go in. So yeah, I don't see any activity on the waterfall. I know my station is working because I can switch over to the JSA calling frequency and everything is fine. So I'm going to sit here for about 5 minutes. I'll do another heartbeat, and then I'm going to go up to our alternate frequency for JSA call. And at that point, we're going to switch over to PSK 31 at 0530 local time. All right, folks, it's been a long video, but we're coming up on our last Commo window, at least the last Commo window that I'm going to participate in at 1600 UTC. So I've transitioned the temporary camp, even though it's in the backyard, to using my lean-to. This is the standard USGI poncho with the trekking poles, and just to keep me out from under the sun. The sleeping pad I used last night is doubling as my seating pad. Occasionally, when I operate like this, I'll carry the extra weight. This is a 1 pound aluminum table. I bought this years ago and love it. So the plan for today now is to switch over to the 20 meter band. I think this is the band that we're going to have the most success, specifically on JSA call. Voice looks better than any chance we've had before based on the prediction, but I'm not going to count that. So if it's going to happen, it's going to happen today at let's see, 1615 UTC. All right, guys, so I'm all set up waiting for voice. I have about 10 minutes. What's interesting about this plan is that he actually calls for, on all the voice frequencies, lower sideband, and that's fine for 80 meters and 40, but convention for 20 meters is upper sideband. So I just had to double check to make sure that I switched over my radio to lower sideband. Again, we're breaking convention, but again, these aren't really hard and fast rules. It's just convention. Kilo November 4 Mike, Kilo Bravo from Kilo Tango 7 Romeo Uniform November. Negative copy. There's a station way in the noise. 2 by 1, 2 by 1. All right, I'm going to try sending my info. Billy, if that's you, I'm going to send you my UTM. I am located in figures 1-2 Sierra for my zone. My easting is 405758. My northing is 3753434. Local weather 82 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, guys, we finally did it. I knew this was going to be the window. Billy is actually transmitting to me. I went a couple minutes early, and we're on our JSA call frequency. And looks like he's responding to me with a signal to noise ratio of -0.2. So we did it, guys. We absolutely did it. This is amazing. Like I said, I had done the prediction on my my schedule here, and I don't know if you'll see it there, but it shows an A. So I'm going to show the vocap offline stuff just for the record. So if I really wanted to conserve resources, I knew this was the best shot. I probably would have avoided the other Commo windows and gone down this route. So I'm transmitting my UTM coordinates right now. It should take another 18 seconds, and then he's going to respond back. One more thing, I'm going to go ahead and just send him a signal report. I have him received at -0.4 dB, which is well within the capabilities of JSA call. Now, for the record, the reason why a single sideband probably did not work is that you need to be anywhere from 0 to 6 dB, and you can see that both him and I are under that. I was at a -0.2 and he was at a -0.4. Well, guys, we finally did it. This video keeps on going. We finally were able to exchange our grid square. I got his now, or not his grid square, but his UTM coordinates. So I'm going to try one more time to make sure he got mine. But yeah, this is great. He's in zone 16S. His easting is 394563, and his northing is 408949. So 100% success. It only took 12 hours and change and 3 Commo windows. Well, we did it. Actually, we've been doing a QSO back and forth right now for a while, so conditions are improving. For some reason, we just switched over to slow mode. I did tell him we were going to use slow. So some of my transmissions now are taking 2 minutes. We have exchanged weather reports, confirmed them on both sides. I just confirmed his UTM location, which is amazing. He just asked for mine, so I guess he missed the first part of it. So I'm retransmitting my grid. So guys, this is absolutely amazing. I was pretty sure that 20 meters was going to be the hot ticket, mostly because that's what the offline prediction software said would be a success. It rated us at an A for this particular window at this particular power level. I'm just running 20 watts. So bottom line here is that this stuff is hard. If you're a prepper or an outsider into amateur radio and think you're just going to be able to buy the gear, get on the air, good luck. Again, I am not the expert. I've only been doing this for a few years. Same thing with Billy. But we both went out into the field and we're self-supporting. Technically, I'm in the backyard, but I'm still self-supporting. I would have gone on the field if it wasn't for this injury. The point is, we've purchased gear, we've gotten licensed, we've learned to use various modes, we wrote a plan, we dedicated 12 to 24 hours to do this exercise, and even then we had the odds stacked against us. I went through 3 Commo windows 4 hours apart. I went through at least the primary, alternate, and contingency mode on all of these things, and JS8 call finally did it on the slow mode, so that will absolutely be our emergency mode. Anyway, stick around for our this video, his video, and our shared after action report. And I just want to say thank you guys all. Consider supporting me on Buy Me a Coffee if you like this content, even if the video quality sucks. I hope the content is good enough. At least it'll inspire you to get out there. All right, I'm the Tech Prepper. Be strong, be safe, and be prepared.